Assalamualaikum everyone. So today we're going to go for the last topic of our course, which is getting from here to there, a roadmap for IIoT. From our previous lecture, we already seeing that people are shifting towards the IIoT, and most of the company starting to adopt with the IIoT elements in their activities. So, in order for business to adapt to the concept for the industrial internet, they will need to realize the current position of their company, and then their processes, procedure, philosophy, strategy, and current technologies, in order to make sure they can transform from the what we call one condition here right now towards the IIoT industry. Okay, so for this company to adopt and take advantage for the industrial internet and industry 4.0, radical changes cannot be prevented. Of course, when we are familiar with the traditional methods, sometimes all of the business are comfortable with that process, but in order for us to move forward, for the industry to move forward towards the industrial 4.0, of course radical changes will be needed. The first and foremost prerequisite to adoption of IoT and Industry 4.0 strategy is that of transforming the business to operate seamlessly in a digital world. That's why the first thing that need to be done after this by the industry overall around the world will be the digital transformation of the business. Okay, so under this digital transformation, there are a lot of tasks, and there are a lot of things that the company must pay attention with. Okay, so today we are going to look into what are the components for the digital transformation to happen. Before we go further, let us look what is digital transformation. So the concept of digital transformation is the use of technology to improve performance. We can see that all sectors will be benefiting from the digitalization if they use latest digital technology such as analytic, mobility, social media, and smart embedded devices. Okay, so but using the digital what we call digitalization or digital technologies itself only is not enough. Okay, so because this digital transformation can affect all industry, and it can also involve core function of the business. For example, the strategy, process, and procedure, meaning that it is not only on the operation itself, but it also involved with the overall operation of the company. So digital transformation can reshape every aspect of the modern enterprise. There are four core elements of digital transformation. They are connectivity with the customer and partners. Okay, so meaning that in this digital transformation, it will transform the connectivity between the customer and the partners. And then there will be also innovation of product, business model, and processes, and then automation by replacing labor with technology, and also decision making by utilizing big data and advanced analytic. Okay, so we are going to look into the what we call details of this part in the next part of the lecture. Based on the four core element of digital transformation, we can divide it into seven what we call steps that can be taken by the company to support the digital transformation itself for their company. Okay, so this is the summary, so you can look into this summary. We are going to go one by one throughout this lecture. The first thing that we can look into is the customer experience. Okay, so the factories, the industry itself is supposed to pay attention on the customer experience, or sometimes we call it as user experience, where we want to see the feedback and also the experience by the customer, and what are their reaction, or what are their liking towards our product or towards our services. Okay, so the reason why this is put as the first step is because it can produce result quickly. We can use existing equipment to get into this feedback, for example through social media, through the connection between the customer service. Okay, so this is one of the methods that is supposed to be pay attention by the company. There are two elements under the customer experience that the company need to pay attention, which are, the first one is knowing the customer. Okay, so it is important for us to know the customer and their preference. Of course, we have to know the customer dissatisfaction, and then we have to engage with the customer and user directly, know their likes, preference, dislike, so that we have the what we call the data on their preference. Therefore we can improve our process, we can improve our product, and also we can get the constructive criticism from the customer. It can be advantage, although sometimes it's very hard for the company to take note on the criticism, but it might help to improve the system of the company, and also can improve the product that they produce. The second one is customer contact point. So in the previous methods, in I think in 1980s towards the 2000, mostly the way the company keep in touch with the customer are through the, whether it is through the lines, because where the customer have to contact the what we call the customer service, which is sometimes not so as efficient, and second one is through emails. But with the digital transformation, where all of the customers are using smartphones, we can also communicate through messengers, we can communicate through Facebook, through Instagram, and many more. There are many things that can be utilized by the company to increase the customer contact point, meaning to increase the way customer and also the company interact. Okay, so there are a lot of what we call apps. There are a lot of what we call a source of doing the communication, two-way communication between the customer and also the company. Okay, so there are, if you can see, there are a lot of mobile apps. Sometimes the company invest on the mobile apps so that they can interact and what we call can get in contact with the customer directly, and then can share information via pictures, videos, and a lot more. Even sometimes they can promote their new product that going to be launched earlier to the customer, so that what we call the promotion can be done earlier before the product is launched to the market. Okay, so this is very important, to meaning that when we have a higher customer contact point, there will be higher visibility of our product or our services towards the consumer, towards the people in general. Okay, the second step that can be taken by the company for the digital transformation will be transforming operational processes, where for the first step they can do through the process digitization, meaning that we involve process digitization from the design of the product till the end of the production line. Okay, so the company might need to take a very radical changes by changing from the traditional step into automation of the product line. Okay, so since the benefit, we already know that the automation can help the worker to be free from tedious repetitive job, and then we can also provide a safer environment for the worker, and then we can also increase the productivity of the line, right? So digitizing processes also will save money as product and stock are more efficiently created. Okay, so if we are using digitizing processes, then we can prevent the error, and also we can also reduce the production time. Okay, so through the digitization. And then digitization facilitates a variety of stock handling and inventory control. For example, build to stock, build to order, or engineer to order. Okay, so there will be a system where it helps us to manage the what we call the person, and also the stock, and also the machine itself. By moving away from the build to stock model to much more cost effective and efficient build to order can have a huge effect on the asset cost of inventory and or raw material and parts. Okay, so we will see there will be advantage in terms of how we handle our raw material, how we handle our asset, and how we handle the people in the factory. Okay, so then all the operation will be more efficient, so then the company will be able to save the time and also the cost overall. Okay, so then it will become what we call as indirect what we call um, revenue to the company when we reduce the cost. Okay. Okay, by transforming to the digital transformation also, through the operation, transforming the operational process, we can increase the worker mobility, where mobility will what we call will increase the efficiency and productivity for the worker, where everyone is using the smartphones right now, and employees can communicate and do their works anywhere, everywhere they are. Okay, so for example, the company must take initiative, for example, to employ the what we call the BIOT, bring your own device, and even BIOC, which is bring your own cloud, where employees are mobile to work anywhere. Okay, so this one I think uh, we already start doing this when COVID comes. We have to work from home, and then many companies also making the staff to work from home. Okay, and then they, although already the COVID is already improving, um, they can what we call save the they still can use this method. Okay, so where staff can work anywhere they want to work, as long as they can finish their work, and the what we call the efficiency and productivity of the worker is there, then they can work anywhere they want. Okay, so uh, since everything is already happening due to the COVID, so we as the company itself right now supposed to be using these methods to increase their operational processes, by making the worker work wherever they can. Okay, as long as they can deliver their work. The last step in the transformation operational process, there will be performance management. Okay, so when we transform our factory or our industry into digital transformation, towards the digital transformation, we will be able to get timely reports on the production. We can get a lot of information on the output, and also the performance of the factory, or the operation processes. Okay, so through this one, the top executive will be able to do the monitoring and also manage the system, so that improvement can be taken. And then when we have the data, the big data, and then the analysis of the data of the operations, we will be able to facilitate all the production plans, and then we will be able to do the performance analysis, and we will be able to visualize where is our weakness and where is our strength. Okay, so then the top management will be able to plan the performance, and then how they want to move forwards from A to Z. Okay, so for example, let's say there is a problem with the output of the product, so they can manage that performance and then improve to make it a better product in the future. Okay, so for example, there is error in the line, downtime is too long, so what will be the steps that they can take so that they can increase the performance of the production line. Okay, so this is how transformation in term of the operational processes can be done via the digitization of the lines and the processes. The next step that can be taken for the digital transformation will be transforming the business model. Okay, so many business executive already have the insight for their own business. They know what will be the direction of their business and what are their target to get there. Okay, so it is actually common to have managers who have enough self-awareness that they understand the chance is imperative if the business is to survive, let alone growth. Okay, so meaning that all of this management, they already know what are the things that they want to achieve and what will be the growth of their business. Okay, however, if they utilize the digital transformation in and industrial internets into their companies, they can change and adapt to new innovative business model. For example, previously we are doing selling through house to house or through the salesperson. So currently we can utilize the marketing of the product towards internets, towards the Facebook, towards the social media, and many more other what we call methods to transform their business. Okay, to popularize the product, or to meaning to sell their product. Okay, so that's how they can transform from the traditional methods of selling to from the traditional way of selling towards the digital way of selling. Okay, so this is just one example. We're going to look into more example later. When we do the transformation of the business model, there are three steps that can be taken. For example, the first one will be the digitally modified business, like the example that I've given to you previously. For example, it start with the selling, by selling through traditional way, where you utilize the salespersons, and then you do the what we call face-to-face promotions or something like that. Not that we want all of them to let go all this traditional, but we want what we call the business, the factory, or the what we call the business itself can explore towards new methods to what we call to popularize their product, to market the product, or to give information to the customers via the digital methods. Okay, so if let's say, if we give example, for example, a butcher selling their what we call their product face to face in the market, for example, and then they transform it into digital, making like, oh okay, I just take order through online, I didn't have a physical stall in the market anymore, or something like that. It might be jeopardize the business. Okay, so what we want for this butcher is not only they still have the what we call uh, the 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 what we call the place where he can physically change sell their product, but in the same time he is supposed to do some marketing. He's supposed to do what we call connection with the customer, through the digital way, okay, so that he can make the business bigger, and it can the what we call the operation will be much more efficient for him to sell his product. Okay, so that's how we want to digitally modify the business, not digitally transform the overall of the business itself. The next step in transforming the business model, the company also can introduce new digital business. Of course, when we want to introduce new digital business, we will need a lot of idea innovations in order to what we call to get a good digital business. Okay, so apart from that, the company might need to test first this new digital business, look into the current customer base, and make what we call make a customer experience and contact points with the customer first to get the feedback, and then improve the process in a way before fully go into the new digital business. We don't want the customer to the current customer to leave the product when we want to expand the market of our product, right? So when we do the transformation of the new digital business, it has to be tested first. It has to be not leaving the traditional business way of the factory, or to that what we call operation. It's supposed to go parallel together, so that that customer can sustain the transformation from the traditional way to the digital new digital business. Last one under the transformation of the business model is through digital globalization. So meaning that when we want to do this transformation, it's supposed to be done worldwide. Although it's supposed to start from the local business first before it goes to the global way. But then if let's say everyone want the industrial internet of things, no, the industry 4.0 to sustain, to be the future of the world's industry, then the whole world must adapt to this one. That's why there are a lot of movements towards this IR 4.0, so that every part of the world will take place into this idea, so that the whole things the whole revolution can take place. Okay, if not, then everything is just a local one, so then it is not going to go anywhere. Okay, so that's why uh, the whole business thing must work together, so that it can be digital globalization, so that we will be able to get all the data around the world, and then we can do the what we call sharing information, and sharing the what we call the process to everyone. Okay, so then everyone will benefit from the IR 4.0. The next step for the digital transformation will be increase the operational efficiency. Consultant often stress the point that the whole purpose of the industrial internet of or industry 4.0 is to increase the industrial operation efficiency, okay, via the digital way. Okay, so however, that is only partly true. Industrial and business projects are targeted at providing efficiency, automation, and profit across the entire supply chain. However, they are correct to stress the importance of operational efficiency, as it is paramount to all business, and Industry 4.0 lends itself to increase productivity, efficiency, and customer engagement. Okay, so meaning that through this IR 4.0, the company is supposed to be what we call not only that all this technology providing help to increase the operational efficiency, but the entire supply chain is supposed to be together. Okay, all of the operation from A to till the end, okay, till the Z, must be working together and increase the whole operation efficiency. Among the way to increase the operational efficiency is through merging the OT with the IT. Okay, so OT is the operational technology and IT is the information technology. So OT is more into the operation. All the engineers about the manufacturing processes are all under the OT. So meaning that something yang involve operations is under the OT. Okay, so for example, the engineer, technician, everyone is working under that one is under OT. Okay, IT is much more into the what we call the software things, the what we call into the uh, information everything regarding the information technology. Okay, so OT is more into the physical things, right? IT is more into the enterprise business strategize. Okay, so usually this IT is the one that guide other department. Okay, they use the efficient and productive methods and technologies uh, to what we call to guide the OT towards doing the works and everything. IT usually tend to lead rather than collaborate. Okay, so meaning that they do the what we call in terms of the operations is strategy and everything first, and then they lead the OT to do all the works. Okay, so but now when we want to increase the operational efficiency, the IT and OT must work together. Okay, so it has to be integrated together, where because OT is the one who produce and IT is the one who leads, right? So but IT cannot lead if OT is just doing the things, but it will not be efficient, because the one who do the practical things will know a lot of things that need to be improved. But if only the IT leading without knowing what are the OTs doing, okay, meaning that what are the problems they're facing and what are the things that they can improve. Okay, so if they are not working together, the efficiency of the operation is very what we call it is not like low. You can still operate efficiently, but it is not to the optimum way. Okay, so when if OT and IT work together, then it will be easier for the operation efficiency to be increased. Okay, then the next one is increase productivity via automation. As we already see a lot of advantage of automation, where all the human errors and also the repetitive work can be reduced. Okay, so when we do the productivity via automation, we will be able to increase the operational efficiency, where a human are used human work as the one that monitor the machines and monitor the operations, but the work itself is done by the machine. Okay, so through this one, we will be able to increase the operational efficiency, where the error can be reduced, and then we only monitor the problem, and then we solve the problem when it is detected. Okay, so and this error also will be able to be detected through automation way. Okay, the next thing that we want to look into in digital transformation will be develop new business model. What does it mean by the develop new business model? We can see that there are a lot of digitalization that create connectivity in the industry. Okay, so this digitization will enable to the management to shift their what we call their business towards the evolution in the industry 4.0. um, there are a lot of operations, for example, the cloud-based services and techniques which enhance the potential and value creation of the company from the existing business model that they have. Okay, Usually in a company or in the company business model, there is one things that we call as value creation, okay, where the company will create their own value, so that to make sure that the business is what we call maintain and exist in the market. Okay, value creation is about increasing the value of the company offering. So for example, the product or services that they provide, so that it encourage customer to pay for of what they are offering to the customers. Okay, so in the manufacturing and the product focused business, usually the creating the value is mean producing better product and more features than the competition, so that you are still relevant in the industry. For example, one of the example that um, easy for you to understand, for example, Nokia. If previously we know that Nokia is the leading company in the industry of the communication, right, providing all of the new handphones and everything. When the transformation towards the smartphone, they did not maintain this value, where they did not they are not able to offer what we call something that will attract people in terms of the functions of the handphone, in terms of uh, the appearance and the what we call the something that attractive, like that we're using right now, where you have camera, you have the connection to the internet, so you can use it as the connection between the handphones and also the other devices, all the internet thing. They're not able to provide that. They did not go further like Apple or the Samsung, or other um, other provider, or the product provider. Okay, so in the end they become irrelevant in the industry. Okay, so that's why when everyone is transforming into the digital transformation, the company also need to readjust the value of their company and make it to make sure that they are relevant in the industry, to make sure that the company is still exists in the company, in the industry. Okay, so that's why it is very important for the industrial player to know their value and how they can make a strategic goal uh, to create a product, or to give a service that is attractive to the customers, via developing the new business model and adopt the IR 4.0 elements into it. Okay, the next step is for the digital transformation will be to adopt smart architecture and technology. Innovation is critical in developing new business model and opportunities. However, for the company to be able to fully exploit the opportunity, they will have to master three core competency. For example, the sensor-driven computing, industrial analytic, and intelligent machine application. Along the way of our lecture previously, we will see the what we call the how important is the sensor. Okay, so sensor driven computing is very important when we want to make the digital transformation. Sensor driven computing is the basis of the industry internet, when sensor is the one who provide the connection between the analog world and also the to the digital way of what we call monitoring or environment. Okay, for example, we can monitor the temperature, voltage, humidity, and etc. There are a lot of things, a lot of function of the sensors that we can see in the engineering world, right? So this sensor provide object with perception into the state and their surrounding, and they provide the data required by the system, so that we can gain the insight into the industrial processes. Okay, so without the sensor, we will not be able to see time in situ, meaning the time in time, uh, what we call condition of the operation, or whatever the current situation in the processes. Okay, so sensors only supply raw data to gain actionable insight and analytic. Okay, since we already have the sensor in the technologies, uh, we can the next step is to do the industrial analytic, which is we convert the raw environmental data that we get from the sensor previously, and then um, we can transform it into something in understandable knowledge. Okay, so for example, into the graph, into a certain analysis of the conditions of the operation or something like that, um, so that it will benefit the operation itself. Okay, so analytic traditionally, due to the limit of technology, had a focus on historical data such as monthly sales report, and then the operation after is already done. Okay, so what we want right now is, if we have the cloud computing, or we have the big data storage, okay, and we have the advanced analytic, it will transform from historical, it become diagnostic, it can be predictive, and then even prescriptive analytical data, meaning that we can predict the downtime of the machine before it happens, so that we can take action, so that it is predictive. Okay, so even we can project, for example, the sale for the next year or the next month, via this data. Okay, so then this advanced analytical algorithm provide insight into not just what has happened, but it will also show us what will happen, when it might happen again, and why, what you can do about it. The next one, we not only need the industrial analytical, we will also need intelligent machine application to make sure that the optimum result from this, what we call IIoT. Analytic have profound importance in the industrial scenario, as they provide the actionable insight, and that facilitate intelligent process control and proactive decision making. However, proactive benefit of predictive analytic require the intelligent machine, where we don't want what we call we want to minimize the monitoring of all the data, and we want all of the machines will have the self-awareness um, of the error, or all of the performance, okay, on their own. When we have this intelligent machine application, we will be able to detect the problem earlier, and then we can solve it earlier also. Even we can predict, might be able to get to know the things that will happen in the future before it happen. Okay, so however, the real benefit of having intelligent machine is that they can integrate and collaborate with one another across the domain. So then it will make it easier for the production lines, where for example, we can make sure that the process will run smoothly when the product, for example, one product is coming from one station to another. This intelligent machine application will be able to detect the location and know what is the next step for that processes to take happen. Okay, so this one will for sure will make it the production easier and smoother, and it will also increase the efficiency of the production. Okay, so this is just example of one of the application in the intelligent machine application. There will be a lot more intelligent machine application, not only in the factory, it can be also outside of the factory. Something that for example, like the smart wearables that we use. Okay, so that is the intelligent machine application, where it can monitor when the people for example, the wearables that can detect when people are down, what we call due to the accident or anything. So that is one of the application for the intelligent machine application. Okay, so this is what we want it to be adopted into the into the industry. Okay, the last thing that we are going to look into in the digital transformation will be the transform of the workforce. Okay, so in 70s there will be a doubt when they want to change from the normal production line into the automation. There will be a lot of worries, for example, will it be safe, will it be beneficial to the company or not. But now we already see the what we call the benefit to the industry, where the production is become more efficient, and we can see that production can be increased. Okay, so production can be more what we call optimum. Okay, so as what happened in the 70s, right now when we want it to transform into the industrial revolution 4.0, uh, transformation of the workforce must take place. If not, then IR 4.0 will not be a successful industrial revolution, right? So in order to do that, all of the people in this world need to adopt and to be together in transforming the workforce. Okay, so it might take time to do that, but by the time when this IIoT become mature and become more what we call more stable, there people will start to realize the what we call the benefit of it. Okay, so they might be reduced in work of people in the production line, but it can also transform people into skilled worker, where there are have certain specialty, let's say for example in the IT, in a certain things. Okay, so we use less people to do the manual work that is repetitive, but then we can increase the skilled worker that have specialty. Okay, so this is what you in the future will have to face. Okay, that's why you will need not only the what we call the brain. Okay, so but then you will have to have special skill, so that you will be accepted in the industry. Okay, that's all for us for this semester. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope everyone can look into this video and learn something from it. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.